Welcome, dear friend. How are you doing today? Truly, I hope this time we spend together feels like a comforting conversation, one where we reflect on the ways we can nurture both our bodies and our hearts as we age. You know, life after 60 brings its own set of beautiful gifts, but it also asks us to slow down and pay closer attention to how we care for ourselves. It's a gentle reminder, isn't it? Our bodies speak to us in little whispers, aches, stiffness, perhaps even fatigue. But it's never too late to pause, listen, and make a change. So tonight, let's talk about 5 habits you might want to rethink. Small shifts that could make a world of difference in your well-being. I promise, nothing we discuss today is overwhelming or complicated. Let's begin, shall we? The danger of prolonged sitting. Let's start with something we all do. Sitting. It seems so harmless, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Sitting for long periods, day after day, doesn't just make us stiff or sore. It can lead to real changes in our health. You've probably heard the phrase, "sitting is the new smoking." That might sound overly dramatic, but the science behind it is clear. Sitting for hours at a time slows circulation, weakens the legs and core, and can even impact our heart and brain health. Did you know that the American Heart Association reported in 2021 that prolonged sitting increases the risk of heart disease and poor circulation? I knew someone like George, a 72-year-old neighbor of mine. He would take a walk every morning. You'd think that was enough. But the rest of his day was spent in his favorite recliner, reading or watching TV. Over time, his legs grew weaker, and standing up became harder. His doctor suggested something simple: standing every 30 minutes, stretching his back, or walking around the room for a few minutes. It wasn't about replacing the walk, but breaking up those long stretches of immobility. And do you know what? George started noticing less stiffness, better energy. He even looked lighter on his feet, more confident. So here's something you can try right now. Go ahead and stand up if you feel up to it. Roll your shoulders gently, shift your weight from one foot to the other, or even take a walk to the kitchen and back. You'll feel a little lighter, a little more awake. Isn't it amazing how small moments of movement can feel like an act of kindness to your body? The vital role of protein. Next, let's talk about what's on our plates, or maybe what's missing from them. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing protein, which is essential for maintaining muscle mass and energy. Without enough protein, we risk sarcopenia, a gradual loss of muscle strength that can dampen independence. This isn't just about lifting heavy things or climbing stairs. Weak muscles can make even rising from a chair feel like a chore. I'm reminded of Richard, a man in his late 60s. Over time, he noticed that his usual tasks, carrying groceries or tidying the house, became harder. What was the culprit? Not enough protein. He started including simple additions in his meals: scrambled eggs at breakfast, a handful of nuts for an afternoon snack, or beans in his soups. Within a month, he felt more stable on his feet, more energetic. Isn't it reassuring how small dietary changes can have such a ripple effect? Here's a gentle challenge for you. During your next meal, take a moment to think about where the protein on your plate comes from. Whether it's eggs, chicken, beans, or a slice of cheese, consider giving your muscles a little extra love. And if you're unsure where to start, talk to your doctor or a dietitian. They can recommend what works best for your body. Sleep, the ultimate repair tool. Now, this next one touches so many of us. sleep. There's a myth that as we age, we need less of it. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Dr. Helen Marcus, a geriatric psychologist at Stanford, often emphasizes that sleep is as vital for older adults as it is for younger folks. During sleep, your body heals, rebuilding muscles, storing memories, and even boosting your immune system. But what happens if your nights feel restless? Maybe you wake up at 3 a.m. only to stare at the ceiling, or you rise in the morning feeling groggy instead of rested. I remember Frank, a retired teacher and dear friend, who told me he'd given up on the idea of good sleep altogether. But small changes turned it around. He dimmed his lights in the evening, avoided caffeine after lunch, and even tried reading instead of watching TV before bed. Within weeks, his nights were quieter, his energy brighter. So here's my question for you. How do you wind down at night? Could there be something small, a warm herbal tea, a cozy book, or even a tech-free zone in the bedroom that helps you invite restful sleep? Your body deserves time to recover, and sleep is the most gentle and natural way to do it. Strength and balance, a foundation for mobility. Let's move on to something we don't talk about enough: balance. Did you know that falls are the leading cause of serious injury among older adults? And it's not just your legs that matter. Your core, back, and stabilizing muscles all play a role. Take Edward, for example. He walked every day, but didn't do much to challenge his balance. One tiny misstep on the stairs left him shaken, though thankfully unhurt. After that, he started adding simple exercises to his days, standing on one foot while holding onto a counter, or practicing slow, steady squats with a chair nearby for support. The difference in his confidence was remarkable. You don't have to spend hours at the gym to build strength. Even as you sit here now, you might try lifting one foot a few inches off the ground and holding it steady. How does it feel? If it's a little wobbly, don't worry. It's just a reminder that you have a chance to work on something that could keep you steady for years to come. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And now, let's talk about something so simple yet so often ignored: water. Dehydration becomes sneaky as we age because our bodies stop signaling thirst as clearly as they once did. But staying hydrated isn't just about quenching thirst. It's about keeping your joints lubricated, your digestion smooth, and even your brain clear. Think of Walter, a friend from my walking group. He always had a morning coffee. That was hydration to him. But he'd end up with headaches and fatigue by the afternoon. His doctor explained that coffee, while comforting, acts as a diuretic, pulling water out of the body. Walter started keeping a glass of water by his chair and sipping throughout the day. He felt surprisingly brighter, more alert. Here's an easy test you can try right now. Pinch the skin on the back of your hand. If it snaps back quickly, you're likely hydrated. If it lingers, it's time to grab a drink, water, herbal tea, maybe even fresh juice. Doesn't it sound nice to let something so simple improve your day? Final thoughts. As we close our time together, I want to leave you with this. Our bodies are amazing. They've carried us through decades of life, adapted to challenges, and given us more than we often acknowledge. The simple changes we talked about today, moving more, eating thoughtfully, improving sleep, working on balance, and drinking water, are ways of saying thank you to our bodies. They deserve it, don't they? So, let me ask you, which of these habits resonates with you the most? Maybe it's getting up from that chair once an hour. Maybe it's adding a little more protein to breakfast, or even keeping a glass of water by your side. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you plan to take these reflections into your life? Thank you for spending this time with me. You know, these conversations mean the world to me because they remind us that caring for ourselves is never selfish. It's an act of love for our families, our communities, and for the days ahead. I'll see you next time. On the gentle path, take care of yourself. You're worth it.